Hi everyone, my name is Sayeda Kamal and I am the head of ACCA Foundation Diploma at Vertex Learning Solutions. And this webinar is being presented, as you all know, by Vertex Learning Solutions. So before starting today's webinar, I just request all of you to please keep your mic on mute. And in the end of this webinar, I'm going to give you a chance to ask questions. So we are going to have a question answer session at the end of this webinar. So don't worry regarding your questions. So without wasting any more time, I think we shall start. As you all know that today's webinar agenda is we are going to talk about specifically ACCA knowledge level. So here we are going to in the beginning, I'm gonna talk about the introduction to ACCA knowledge level. The total webinar is actually designed for you, for those students who wanna enter in ACCA qualification, and when they enter in the ACCA qualification, obviously the first level is called the knowledge level, the applied knowledge level. So here we are going to discuss about the syllabus of knowledge level, and then the exam pattern, and how they can study smartly. And in the end, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to pass and score well in this all these three papers. So then I'm going to discuss the syllabus in exam format and study and exam tips. This is all we are going to discuss regarding ACC knowledge level. So, as you all know, ACC professional qualification, like who can enter? Those who have just done their A levels, or they have the bachelor's degree or above. So they can enter in the ACC qualification. When you enter in the ACC qualification, you must know that what are the exam pattern, like how many papers you are supposed to pass. So you can see that ACC professional qualification has been divided into three levels. First is called the applied knowledge level, and we can also say that these are the actually modules. Okay, so these are the module based exams. Okay, so first level is BT. Like three papers you are supposed to pass here: BT, MA, and FA. These are the short forms of these papers: business and technology, management accounting, and financial accounting papers. Then, when as you pass this, it's very important that when you pass this level one, then you can go and give paper for skill module. And then afterwards, in the end, strategic module. This is also called the P level professional module, the level 3. And these are the papers. So specifically today, we are going to discuss knowledge module. That's why I'm not going to go in details of skill module papers and the professional P level papers, right? So these are the papers that I'm going to discuss about applied knowledge. So, and just a minute. Right. So ACC knowledge level. When you study the first level of ACCA, as you know, the first level of ACC qualification is knowledge level. It builds strong accounting and business fundamentals, right? It builds strong accounting and business fundamentals. If you do not have any accounting background, and like it's designed for beginners and foundation level students. As I tell you one thing, that this is for knowledge level. I told you that the eligibility criteria is at least you have just completed your A levels and above, like graduation is needed. So you know that students who have not done so like they do not meet the minimum entry requirement. So what they do, that the ACC say that you can start with the foundation level. Let me just write here something regarding foundation level. They can just start with the foundation level, and no minimum requirement is needed. At least they know how to read and write English. Like they must have some academic background, so they can start with FA1, right? MA1, MA2, FA2, MA2. These four papers are required before knowledge level. Okay, so they pass that these papers, and then afterwards they can do BT in any sequence. Sequence, I will also talk about the sequence: BT, MA, and what? FA. These are the papers. So, you know that they can start with this or this. Here I'm talking about the knowledge level. So knowledge level, this is the foundation level, the ACCA Foundation Diploma. Like if in your country, if there is a thing, just a minute. Yeah. So foundation level. So if you have done your matric or intermediate only or O levels, so you need to do these 7 papers. Then you can start with the ACC qualification. ACC qualification when you start, and you these papers are called these like these are actually FPT, FMA, and FFA in these like in foundation. But these papers when you start ACC qualification, because you have done your A levels or graduation, so when you start ACCA, like you these papers are not required, so simply you can just go with BT, MA, and what, FA. These papers are there, right? So those who pass with the like foundation level papers, then what happens when they enter into the ACC qualification. So these level 1 is exempted. They are not supposed to give paper of level 1, right? This is the thing. They are not supposed to. So like it says that first level. So this is the first level. Then we are going to do skill level, and then third is the strategic, the professional level. So build strong accounting and business fundamentals. Obviously, when you are entering in FBT, like you are entering in knowledge level, so you are just giving these papers. So you know that foundation level students who are maybe really beginners, so 15, 16 to 17 years old students, matric pass, or maybe O level students. So the language is easy in these papers. Otherwise, everything is repeated in this. FPT is also called BT, FMA, MA, FFA, or FA. So all everything is repeated. So no accounting background is required. So from the very it's just like that you are studying from very scratch. Here also, when the understanding of a student of maybe 16 to 17 years old, they do not have that much maturity of the language. They can't understand maybe the advanced language. That's why they are supposed to give these papers. Otherwise, a person who is mature enough and he can understand English well, he can just handle the language. So then they can start with this ACCA and they can just go in BT, MA, and FA papers. And everything is actually repeated here, and then some advanced knowledge is also there. So designed for beginners. So beginners can start with because they have done their O levels, O level like A levels and the graduation. That's why we are saying then these are the beginners. But some students who are just coming from the foundation route, they can also study, right? This. So this is actually the ACCA knowledge level. And now, like as we discussed here, these 3 papers, PT, MA, and FA, one by one, I'm going to discuss these papers, the syllabus, and the skills that are going to develop when you are going to study. So here it says the syllabus summary. Obviously, when your business and technology is BT. Previously, the name of this paper was we can say that accountant in business. So now it is called business and technology. And there are 17 to 18 chapters you need to cover to pass this paper. But here is the syllabus summary when you are going to study knowledge level and you are going to start with me or with us. So I'm going to explain everything regarding this. Every chapter we are going to discuss in detail. But here there is a syllabus summary. So one, like what you are going to study here: business environment and organization, role of accounting in business, leadership, ethics, and governance, impact of technology in business. So if I talk about the business and technology paper, actually this is totally theory based. This is not about calculation. It's not about understanding how business works. It's about understanding how business works. There is no calculation. Okay, so for some people it is a kind of dry paper. They say that it's, but those who who understand English well, And so they like this paper can be passed easily just by reading. I'm going to tell you everything about it, that you are not supposed to cram anything in when you read it. So everything is actually these are the conceptual based papers. So when you start studying the BT, the business and technology paper, in the beginning, what you are supposed to do, you are going to learn what a business is. Okay, you are going to understand what a business is, what different types of organizations exist, okay, and how businesses operate in the real world. So the term business you are going to understand, because when I ask about the what is business, you know that you can say that, oh, business is something that like you are selling something, okay, you're making a profit, obviously, but there is actually there are various terms that you are going to study, and you are going to learn different kind of organizations. There are some organizations who are profit based organizations, some are non-profit organizations. And actually, like if I talk about, like, maybe there is a shopkeeper, he also has a kind of system, the like he's working with 4 or 5 people. He has hired some employees. This is also an organization, right? There is a school, obviously, there is an organization. If you talk about the cricket team, people are working, maybe a team is also in an organization. So you are going to study that a group of people are working together is called an organization. This is a main like definition we can say. But the other things, that how the like organizations are structured, what are the roles of different people are working in the organization, and like manager, top manager, and then senior managers are there, then there are certain laborers are there. A lot of things you are going to study when you start this BT paper. And then when we move to role of accounting in business, right? Accounting in business, here you are going to study what? You are going to study why accounting is important, what role accounting can play for a successful business. Because you know that accounting is something that this is actually the term accounting I'm going to talk about when I'm going to discuss the FA paper. Anyway, like accounting and the importance of accounting, not for just accountant you are going to study, but also that how the decision makers, the managers, uh, are using the accounting principles uh, to lead the business, right? So it will teach you what? It will teach you accounting helps in planning, controlling, and checking costs and checking performances of different departments in the business. So like that. So here there is another very important area. What is that? Very important area: leadership, ethics, and governance. Yes. Like you know that when you are going to study this paper and you start BT, for people who think that it's boring, I say that you know that uh, this paper actually is the single paper of ACCA. It's going to give you a lot of professional knowledge. Like ACCA, like places a strong focus on ethics. It's going to teach you, because accountant deals with money and trust. So you learn how the professional should behave in an organization, like how to act, the ethics you are going to study here, going to learn how decisions should be made ethically, and how businesses are performed, like how businesses are, we can say that, run or governed, right? So in the end, like it's a very interesting part of the impact of technology. This is you are going to study impact of technology in business, right? So here, obviously, you are going to learn the automation. You can think about the previous time and you can think about the right now. Everything has been computerized. Like more and more people, more and more organizations are using the digital systems. They are using the online business modules, right? So, when you think about, because the accounting is actually, there's a principle, some principles of accounting are applied when you are just running a business. Accounting teaches you so many principles. This is, I'm going to explain in my later slides. I'll tell you that the principles remain same, but you are using the digital system, you are using the computer, you are using this, so it is like your like work has become faster, things are becoming faster, like previously, any job was done, like it could take 2 hours, but now in a single click, that 2 hours job can be done in a minute, right? So this is the thing. So obviously, more and more organizations are adopting this system, so as people who are working in an organization, the accountants are using. That's why the name actually, because of like previously, I think 3 to 4 years ago, the name was accounting in business, but now the paper name has changed. So there is a large area we're going to study that how the modern technology is linked with accounting, right? So then skill develop, you can say business awareness. Obviously, you are going to get a lot of awareness, professional ethics, organizational understanding, right? So BP is not just you are learning a theory about boring or kind of theory. No, at the end of this paper, you are going to actually think like a business professional. I tell you. So, it can take you like, yeah, I think it's mentioned. Yeah, total 60 to 70 hours of study time is required, and it doesn't like you are just studying what you are studying a kind of like a CSS kind of paper, you are doing ACCA. It doesn't mean like you need just 1 to 2 hours daily. Or I say that ideally you should be studying 2 to 3 hours daily. And the skills you are going to get after just finishing this paper, you are going to develop business awareness. You understand right and wrong in a professional sense. And you know that you are going to get a clear picture of how different departments in company work together. So a lot of things, the organizational structure, professional ethics, how to what's right and wrong, or how to behave in the business corporate world, and business awareness working. So uh, like uh, like some people think that hey, my video is not working. Just a minute. Okay, so some people say and think about that like I have seen students passing this paper. I tell you, in 1 month study, like easily they can pass. But ideally, I say that when you start, at least 2 months you should study. And if you prepare 7 to 8 weeks before the exam, study 10 to 12 hours per week. And daily studying daily is important actually in every paper of ACCA. It doesn't mean that like you are just supposed to study only. Some students say I want to study on weekends. Some say that we want to study on weekdays. No, daily consistency is important here. Or you can do one thing that daily 2 to 3 hours you can study. But maybe for some days, maybe some students say that in the weekends we can study more. Some say in weekdays we can study more. So you can just set the criteria. Okay, 3 hours daily I'm gonna study, but in maybe days where on which you can't study more, so 30 minutes to 1 hour at least you should revise your whatever you studied previously, right? So consistency is really important. Next paper is management accounting paper, right? Management accounting paper. So here the syllabus summary is, I tell you that again, 26 chapters we are going to study when you are studying the management accounting paper, and a lot of things you are going to learn. But the summary is available here, and I'm going to talk about some important topics. The main topic is cost classification and cost behavior, and cost classification and cost behavior. Actually, here you learn. I tell you one thing. Uh, Let me just show you the next slides. This is financial accounting and this is management accounting. Okay, so you can divide particularly accounting into two groups. One is the management accounting paper you are going to study. Simultaneously, you can study the other paper of financial accounting, right? So both has their like both have the important role in business success. Like management accounting in something, I tell you, like When you start a business, obviously, and maybe there is a showroom, you are going to showcasing your product. People are coming and watching you in the market. Okay, this is a new store. So you, so this is actually the financial accounting stuff. You are just on daily basis, you are doing the transactions are there. A very interesting part, day-to-day transactions are recorded. But here we are talking about the management accounting. So actually the people are watching and they see this, the main with the opening day of this showroom or whatever the shop is. But there was a huge role of the management accounting. So managers, the real owners, like they started thinking, a man started, I would start a business. Okay. So here the management role starts. He hires some people. He makes a team. He thinks about that. Okay, I need to invest something. So he's just making planning, budgeting. He's planning. So, and then whatever is happening here, so whatever is happening here, you know, here, so actually the main brain is working behind the background team, the management accounting, the team who are the management. The role of management accounting is very vital in business success. This is I was just trying to tell you. So cost classification, to keep you this short, cost classification, you are going to study the syllabus. Cost classification, you need to classify some cost. Okay, you can just group cost into different, you can classify cost into different groups, right? You can cost could be production related cost. If we are having a production kind of business, okay, production related cost, production cost, non-production cost, and some selling and distribution cost is there, right? And research and development cost. So you can classify. You are going to study that how to classify cost. The expense, some people think this is just an expense, but actually there's a lot of thing that the term cost is actually very vast. So we can classify cost. The cost could be production and non-production, simple to tell you. Cost behavior, how the cost behave in certain situations. I tell you one thing, let's see, you are just there is a business, a factory is there, employees are working, or we can say that labor is there. So you want to produce one product, you say to the labor, okay, if he makes this product for you, you will give him, let's say, $2 for this. So when he makes 100 in a day, this is a piecework system. He makes 100 units for you. So how much you are going to pay him? Obviously, you are going to pay him $200. So this is actually the variable wage you are giving him, variable cost. So cost can behave differently. To this employee, you are just paying $2 for when he makes 1 unit. So 100 units when he made, he earned that day 200. Next day, the same, but he made 200 euro. We can say 150 units, right? So he is going to take $300 at home. So this way the cost varies per unit. One day earning could be 200, second day could be 300. So as he making more and more units, the cost varies as the number of units increases. Okay, this happens. So this is the thing. Or maybe there is a manager. For manager, you say there is a fixed salary. If there is a work or there is no work, I'm gonna give you the fixed amount of salary, $500 or maybe the $1,000. So manager is happy. He's working or not working. He's getting 100. This is a fixed payment. I'm just kidding that he's working or not. Obviously, there is a kind of performance measurement of that manager as well. But I tell you one thing that this is a fixed salary he's getting. So the cost behaves differently. Please keep yourself on mute. Keep yourself on mute. no disturbance is required. No speaking, right? So the manager pay could be, not could be, is exactly the fixed cost. I will say this is a fixed cost. How the cost is behaving, this is fixed expense, fixed cost. Here, this is the variable. Same, we can see the fixed could be the rent. You are just hiring a shop or maybe a factory. So what would happen? You need to pay the rent. Rent is a fixed pay, right? So this is how the cost classification and cost behavior. Very important, interesting. I say the most important, like most interesting syllabus of your ACCA is the when you study the management accounting. Okay, so it gives you the real life examples. All the papers actually, as I was talking about the BT paper, it is also interesting. If just we need good students, the students who want to study. For every good student, every paper is important, interesting. Knowledge is always interesting if you are just passionate and you are curious to learn new things. Anyway, so this is management. My favorite one is management accounting. That's why I was saying. Anyway, dealing with overheads in different costing methods are there. Overheads. What are the overheads? Again, overheads something like we can say, uh, like you know that let's say there's a chair, okay, or we need to make a chair, and for that we need a raw material. What is the if it is of wood, we can say that simply the raw material is required, the wood is required. And then you can just transform this, convert this raw material, the wood, the log of the wood, into a finished chair that can be used in anywhere, like maybe in homes or in businesses and organizations. So only like if I just take wood, can I convert it into a chair? No, we also need what? We need what? We need a labor force, a person, maybe in simple language, a carpenter. He can convert this into a chair. Okay, he can use this wood and then you see, right? So maybe then I can say that, okay, the wood was for like $10, the cost of the wood, $5 we paid to the labor. And now we can say, okay, now this wood is price is $20 and we can sell it on $30. Let's see. This is the selling price. And you can think about, okay, this is a selling price. So it means, and this is actually the cost. We're thinking, right? And this is actually material. And this is what? This is labor, like labor cost, total cost. And this is a selling price. So I'll say, okay, my profit is what? My profit is $10. Interesting, not bad. If I sell 100, I can earn $1,000 profit. But you know that it is not a thing like that to do. Accounting teaches you actually, what about the overheads? Here you are not mentioning the overheads. So I say, what are the overheads? Overheads are actually the cost that is incurring other expenses. Overhead, you know, the factory rent. You're ignoring factory rent, the manager's salary, the people who are associated with this. They are also, you are just thinking about this carpenter and the food, only the direct cost you are just assuming. This is your total cost. No, there are other costs as well. They are called overheads. You need to absorb into the product cost that overhead portion as well. You need to just gather everything. Like, oh, so that overhead could be of $5, let's say, you know. So the selling price, if you stay with the selling price, so your profit is going to be not $10, it's going to be $5, because $5 you are going to add by ignoring the overhead cost. You're overstating your profit. Actually, the profit should be $5. Or if you want to earn more, you need to revise your selling price. This is the thing. So overheads, the term overheads, it is very interesting. And then you realize, okay, if you are just sitting at your home, you are thinking about a business, you are just thinking about, mostly, generally, we just think about, okay, the word, the person who would convert that wood into the chair, or maybe you can think about the factory rent or place that you are hired, rented out. Or maybe you can also think about some one or two person's salary. But there are other expenses. Electricity cost is there, right? So those all costs, like other than these direct costs, these are called the direct cost, because it is directly traceable, right? Directly attributable. You can easily trace it. You know that this is associated with this share. So this is the direct. But other, which you can ignore, you need to rewrite each and every cost. These are the overheads. You need to absorb those overheads, because these are the incurring. When there is a cleaning staff is there in the factory, why it's there? Why they are there? They are just because of that product. It's being produced. If there is no production, they are not required. Why you have hired all that stuff, all that those people, just because you want to? So that's why that cost should be absorbed there. If you're making like 100,000 units, we are going to, or your cost is there. Why I just put here $5? Because whatever is the cost, the total, the joint, big number, obviously the number of units are also more. You are just going to divide it. We're going to get one single. This is also called OAR, we can say, overhead absorption rate. This you are going to just take it, and you are going to just absorb in the total cost here. And this is the thing. Then you can decide your selling price. So this is a lot of things that you are going to study. So I said that dealing with overheads, different costing methods, and like there are absorptional costing, and the marginal costing is there. So there are many things that obviously when you go and get enrolled in ACCA and enroll in one of our papers, I would just teach you that what are the different cost methods. There are plenty of stuff that you are going to study in management accounting, interesting one. Okay, maybe when you apply one costing method, it will give you some kind of profit. Okay, another costing method is showing the other profit figure. Why? Which is important? What is the real profit? What is the actual profit? Why there is a difference in profit? There are a lot of things you are going to study, right? So budgeting and variances. Budgeting is totally the planned cost. You're planning. Obviously, I told you the word associated with management accounting, the budgeted. Budgeting is your planning. You plan. You decide. This is in your hand. This much of amount of money you can spend, right? So this is your plan cost. Then what happens? The actual results you need to check. Actual results will come from the financial accounting bookkeeping, right? Then you compare. This was the planned, and then actual, then you compare. This is called variance. Like if it is exactly the same, there is no variance. Whatever you plan to earn, like you plan to sell 1,000 units. Actually, how many units you sold? Thousands. Exactly the same. No difference, no variance. You planned to sell 1,000 units, but actually you sold how many? 900. So there's a variance of 100 units, right? So you need to think, is it a good variance or bad variance? Like favorable or adverse, right? You wanted to earn You wanted to earn $1,000. This should be my profit. I planned, budgeted. So very simple thing, planned. So, but actually, what happened? The profit was 900. So we'll say adverse variance because you actually have less profit. 100. The variance is 100. Very interesting one. You are going to study all of them. And then you need to control that why this happened. Maybe there was some overhead costs you did not assume. There are some extra expenses are going on. You need to see that why the profit is less than planned, right? Or maybe you thought that 100,000 would be the profit, but actually the profit is 1,200. 1,200 is your profit. So 200 is your favorable variance. So you need to control when you see this, then when you are comparing the plan and the actual results, this is called the controlling. And then performance measurement is there. You need to, you are going to learn how to measure the performance of a business, how to measure a performance of a different department, different managers. Because you know that when the results are there, the figures are very important. But sometimes you also need to see the different approaches. That maybe the person whose job is to purchase the material from a particular supplier, from a different supplier. Like we have just given him a free hand. He can just buy material from any supplier. So we need to see that whether he is buying a good quality material, what are the prices, if he is going to get the good deal, whatever is that. So maybe if he's not he's purchasing the cheaper quality material, so the quality is cheaper, the prices are less, so we can say okay, we are saving some cost. On the other hand, the cheaper quality material, the labor is not working efficiently just because of that material. It requires more time, more efforts, and there's a lot of wastage because of the cheaper quality. You know, everything, there are a lot of things that you are going to study in this syllabus of management accounting paper MA. Performance measurement is a very important one that you are going to study at the end of this syllabus. Okay. So then you are going to study what skill develop. What kind of skills would be developed when you are going to study? Just a minute. So costing techniques. Obviously, you are going to the develop skills would be the costing techniques. You know that how to just work with the different cost and how to apply different costing methods, different techniques to get certain results. This is the thing, the very important one. Management accounting, there is actually the complete thing about the costing. When you hear the word management accounting, it means it is associated with these terms I have mentioned: planning, controlling, decision making, cost classification, cost behavior, costing techniques, how to deal with the different costs. So, management accounting is this. Here is actually a very large area of costing. You are going to master yourself in costing techniques. Planning and controlling, as I told you, that you need to just make a plan, a budget, and then you need to see the actual results. And if the actual results are in favor, that's great. If not in favor, you need to control what's going wrong with the business. Management decision support, obviously. So you are going to study that how to make certain decisions in business, right? How to make different certain decisions in business. We need to decide that Okay, so there are three products: product one, product two, product three. Okay, so these three, which one is going to give me the higher profit? And maybe this is going to be okay. Actually, my pen is not working. I should to buy a new one. Okay, so I can sell it for $10. It could be sell for $2, 20, and then 30. This is the selling price in the market. So maybe you are just think selling price, right? Of these. So maybe we can think about, okay, we should sell 30, but there are other aspects we need to see. The decisions should be made that profit you are going to from 10, you are going to just get a profit of uh, $7. Here you are going to earn $5. You are going to earn only $3. So which one you should choose? Obviously, you would not see the selling price. You are going to see the profit. Obviously, we are going to decide the product one. It means the cost is very cheap. Like only for we need to prepare that thing, or maybe buy from a supplier for $3, and we can have a profit of $7. So this is kind of decision making. There are a lot of, this is very basic, simple example I gave you. Okay. So this is the name. So total, it's mentioned in some papers, it's mentioned 70 to 80 hours study time is required. Some say that here 80 to 90 hours are required. But I say that particularly daily basis, I recommend my students 2 to 3 hours. Okay, so 2 to 3 hours daily. And for some day, if you're not feeling well, so at least 30 minutes or 1 hour you should spend. A lot of things that we need to discuss, so I think we should go quickly and spend a lot of time here. So financial accounting syllabus summary, again 25 to 26 chapters, very lengthy. This is the most lengthy one, FA1 in all three papers of your knowledge level. FA is very lengthy, but we can say the easiest one. For some, majority of students think and they realize that it is easier one. Okay, so here you are going to study double entry bookkeeping. What is a double entry? Bookkeeping is something in the previous days when there were no accounting principles were applied. Maybe there are businesses who do not apply these accounting principles. What they do, they simply do what? They obviously think about a shopkeeper who is just recording. He has started a small cabin or maybe a stall he has, and daily whatever he is doing, he is just keeping a record. This is called the bookkeeping. The transactions he is recording, okay, daily basis. Then the next day what happens, then another day. So his story of the business is writing. This is bookkeeping. But accounting teaches you that actually in financial accounting, assets are equal to capital equity plus liability. Okay, so this is the main thing you are going to study here. Accounting, this is the accounting main principle. Accounting is based on this principle. Assets are always equal to capital plus liability. This is the idea that we are like where the people who use applies the accounting principles. What happens, because that person, the stall keeper or whatever the cabin person, when he starts the business and start recording, okay, he's just writing each and every day, daily basis is writing something. But what happens, he uh, he might not know that how much is he earning, where the business stands. Is he winning or he's losing? Like after a month, he wants to check his book. Maybe the clear picture, the bookkeeping method would not tell him. But if he applies the accounting principles in his business, assets are always equal to capital plus liabilities. Assets, obviously, when a person starts a business, he need to invest some amount of money. The invested amount, the owner is bringing cash into the business, whatever the building, cash, whatever like vehicle, anything he's bringing into the business. Like there is no business. A person starts, okay, I'll bring something. This is the investment. When he brings the investment on the table, here this is called asset. This is asset. The business is going to be established here. So when we will start with assets, when assets are there, obviously assets are equal to eventually automatically this is called the capital, the investor's money, the owner's money, actually the owner's money. Okay, the person who initiates. So this is capital. So assets, we can say this is 5 million. So cash is also 5 million. Liabilities like from other outsiders, from bank, from family, not particularly family. Okay, you are just bringing cash from your brother, so you need to just give him back. So there is a liability. Friends, family, or business loan, or like bank loan. So in the beginning, first day when we think about only 5 million. Okay, when you just think about, then you think another day, okay, 3 million you will borrow from business. So this is 3 plus 5, and this is 8. You know, this is accounting principles teaches you. This way you are going to record. And double entry bookkeeping tells you that every transaction is recorded twice. So double entry. So you need to check double. Maybe you have made a mistake when we are just writing single entry system. It has so many flaws. So that's why the double entry bookkeeping system introduced by accounting. So this is accounting principle. I was just telling you, the person who started the business. Uh, so after a month or a year, maybe he doesn't have a clear picture. Maybe he's thinking, okay, he's winning, he has earning a lot, his business is being established and flourish day by day. But eventually, maybe there's a lot of liability, bank liability, whatever. So when he applies the accounting principles, any day, any time in a year, he can check his books and it will tell him that if he's in a loss or in a profit, right? So this is the thing. It is whenever just you do something, so it is always balanced. So this is actually the balance sheet. Those who know, they know actually the balance sheet. So double entry bookkeeping keep the things simple. I was just trying to tell you that what are the assets when a person starts the asset, like here. This is actually separate entity concept. I need to study here that whatever that he started, then this is the thing. He has some other family members. His children go to school. There are maybe he has to attend some family parties. He has to buy the grocery for his house. The person who starts, like I was talking about the shopkeeper in the beginning, if he just keep himself on the bookkeeping, so he might can't differentiate, might not differentiate between his expenses or the personal expenses or like business expenses. He would treat it simply. He would say, okay, this is a business, I started a business, okay, and then now there is a profit, I'll take cash to home, I'll pay my children's fee, I just gave a present to my friend, I'll pay, I buy a new dress for my wife. Like he would start doing these expenses from just simply. And this will lead him in a great loss. He would not know that whatever he says, business money is my money. But the accounting principles, the separate entity concept says, no, when you started a business, this is actually the business money. You are not allowed to take that money. If you are taking, you are just losing your capital. It is called the drawing. You are just withdrawing any amount of money. This is actually not drawing. Is means that the business the Shopkeeper has like I'm just talking about a shopkeeper. The business owner simply he withdrew some money, some cash, maybe some inventory, maybe there's a grocery store he runs. He's taking tea, rice, sugar uh, to his home. So this is called drawing. You're selling that and you're also taking that to your home. You need to write each and everything what you are taking. Okay, what you are taking to home. This is not your. This is actually because this is the business money. But actually, the business is actually I value assets are always equal to. I say the assets like business didn't start itself. Okay, how the owner started. So actually, assets are equal to liability. The term is liability. But for better understanding, they say we can just split liability into two groups. One, we can say simple liabilities. This is the outsiders. And then you can see that this is capital, right? So when we start a business, we just make this equation. This is actually also a liability because when the business owner says, I want to wind up, I don't want to do the business anymore. So separate entity concept says the business has to give all the money back to the investors. Actually, the person who started, he is also an investor. So you need to wind up. And I tell you one thing, there is also a lot of thing. Like he started, let's see that assets, first capital is $5. Assets we can say 15, not 15, we can say 7. And there is a liability for other resource 2. This is for year 1, the millions or whatever you can think about. But okay, here I can say after some time, 10, the assets have become 10 million. They are, we can say that 6 million. And here, this is the 4 million. So when he is going to just wind up his business, what we are going to so first of all we have to just pay the outsiders liability. He invested 5. Okay, so we have to just return to outsiders, the other people, the bank loan we have to pay. So 10 minus 6 million, so we'll get 4. So the owner is in loss. He's taking home $4, 4 millions to understand, right? So this is how it works because he needs to sacrifice now because he did maybe plenty of drawings or whatever. So this is like a business. Actually, the person who starts the business, he can start, but he for if he wants to earn more, he wants to flourish his business, he should not draw more and more from the business. If he takes, he should not write here in the business that as I tell that shopkeeper would write, okay, I sold something, then I earned this amount of money, then I paid my children fee, then I went to a wedding ceremony, so I paid to my friend. No, this story the business doesn't need. Business says simply write drawing. Whatever amount of money you are taking home, you should write drawing because you are losing your capital. So he would just start writing here. So business expenses are separate. Personal expenses of the business owner are separate. This is actually a separate entity concept as and the bookkeeping I was trying to explain. And I told you that what is actually the assets are equal to capital plus liability. Why we say this and how does it work? So this is actually just an introduction, everything you are going to, a lot of things you are going to study when you are going to start studying this financial accounting paper. Very easy one, very practical one. Then the trial balance and preparing financial statements we are going to study. Trial balance in keeping myself short, I tell you that when you just do double entry, like when you sell something, okay, so sell you write twice, okay, in your books, and then there is a trial balance afterwards. When you close your accounts, there is a T accounts you make, and there are a lot of accounts you make. Then you need to just put everything in the trial balance. There is a term debit and credit. We are going to study here debit and credit. Then you need to see that all the debits are equal to credits. So then you move forward to for making your other financial statements, income statements, and the balance sheet. Okay, where sometimes it doesn't balance, you need to investigate why do we make this trial balance to check the accuracy of your double entry bookkeeping, if everything was recorded correctly. Because obviously we are all are humans. Even if you are using the technology, you're using your computer, and there is some amount of 890, but eventually when you were typing, you wrote it like that. So this can be because you are using, it doesn't mean that you are using the technology, you are using computer, so it doesn't mean you are not going to make any mistake. You can still make mistakes, but computer like doesn't know was it 890 or 809, right? So these kind actually, even because if there is an MCQ in your exam, it teaches you that if you are using the technology, if you're using the computerized system, it will be free from error. Error can arise anywhere. Like, so trial balance you need to see. Then you need to, maybe if you it doesn't balance sometimes, trial balances, but still there are some mistakes. So how to rectify those mistakes, how to do adjustments. Sometimes in the year end you need to make some corrections, you need to do some adjustments. So how to rectify that error? Because as I told you that 890 or 809, it doesn't mean that you don't have any eraser or remover that you remove. There is another thing that you need to pass another entry to rectify that error. This is the science you are going to study, because you know that you can't use the remover here in accounting. You need to use pass another transaction to just rectify that error previously. And then in the end of this syllabus, I think 6 to 7 chapters are related to company accounting and consolidations. 5 to 6 chapters are there. So because particularly the FA1 is for the sole proprietorship, the single person who started a single entity, the person who started a business, typically 16 to 17 chapters are related to that. But then accounting, introduction to company accounting, the shares, how the shares, how do you buy shares, like there is some differences in that accounting of buying the shares. The main principles, assets are always equal to capital plus liability, it remains same, but there is still some more details that you are going to study in company accounting. And then consolidation is, we are going to study that there is a company of parent company and then the subsidiary company, the parent and child relationship, like the business, how the company works. Like maybe there is a company, uh, right? A, a parent company is there. Company, I'm just making a person. And then there is another company. Then you are just going to buy that company, and this is a parent company, and this is a subsidiary company, right? So how the accounts reflect. So this is the thing. So where a lot of things, an interesting one, this one as well. Financial accounting you are going to study. So you are going to have the skills of accounting fundamentals, main basics of accounting you are going to study, and then how to record financial transaction and reporting, how to record financial transactions, their bookkeeping, then preparing your accounts, and then making trial balance, and then reporting to the senior managers, how to make reports. Very easy ones. When you start studying, it's not difficult at all. You are saying, okay, you are just worried about, okay, reports or something, that maybe you are not good at accounting. Obviously, when you start studying, then you would get familiar with these terms. So you would say these are so easy, because everything is difficult when you start, and impossible when you start. You don't start until you don't start. Okay. So obviously, if you want to reach here, you need to just take the right step, the first step when you do, because obviously reporting is something that you are thinking that very difficult to report someone and how to prepare a report. So here you need to reach. So obviously, step by step, you are going to study. When you start studying your syllabus, you are going to understand how you are going to prepare reports. And then obviously the financial accounting, very interesting one, and a lot of skills you are going to gain from this financial accounting paper. And the confidence in accounts preparation. Obviously, who the person who has completed this syllabus in past, he has the knowledge of complete knowledge of how to record book double entry, how to record the transaction, how to prepare report. You just gain so much confidence in just 2 months of study. Again, 80 to 90 hours of study is required. I always say that 2 to 3 hours daily consistency is important. Not like that you are going to study in weekends only. This is not your local degree. So exam sequence, how to attempt papers. As you can see, it's a circle. So any like any we recommend starting with MA and FA. Like I recommend you can start with simultaneously both papers, MA and FA, and then when you pass one, you can get enrolled in BT and then do this. So student may choose their own sequence. Some say maybe because you know that these MA is also called here, it is called F1. This is called F2. ACC doesn't say if it is F2 and it is F3. So you need to just go with this sequence, any sequence. Some students start with FA first, like F3 first. No, it's all up to you, whatever you want. But I recommend start together MAFA and then you can after eventually when you start studying, because some students feel that they are good at financial accounting. Some prefer that okay, like for some people, management accounting is more interesting. So it is all on your taste. What happens? You're like um, so then you can just like start together do both papers, and then after some times you can see that if you're confident with MA, you can appear in exam for MA paper, and you should have at least 15 to 1 month gap between these two papers. Okay, some students I have seen that the same day or maybe after just 1 day gap, they are just attempting. And I'm also going to tell you that how you are, maybe some of you are thinking how it's possible, like every, like 1 month, 15 days, or like, isn't it any exam entry dates? I tell you, exam settings, CBE, computer based exams. PT, MA, and FA. All foundation four papers, FA1, MA1, FA2. And this computer-based exam knowledge level is also computer-based. Okay, so it's flexible, can be taken any time of the year. Instant results are shown on your screen right after as you finish your paper. You can see instant result. Duration is only 2 hours, and the total marks are 100. 50 is your pass. 50% is a passing mark. Okay, 50% you are going to just get, and you can pass your paper. And how you are going to approach, actually are going to approach your paper, like I tell you, you are, when you think about that you are going to enroll in ACC, you are going to register in ACC, you can get registered in ACC, you can choose the right study partner, that which tuition provider you prefer. You need to choose your student provider. You can start your studying, and then afterwards we prefer online study. I tell you the benefits, and then you can choose your tuition provider, and then you need to book your paper. But for booking your paper, you need to see the CV center near your location. And when you just check, like you need to contact the computer-based exam center, and you can say that I'm ready for this paper, and this is my registration number of ACCA. You need to provide them details. You need to pay the exam fee, and then any time in the year you can appear. This is the flexibility. Isn't it amazing that you can study any time in the year on your own pace? For that's why when a student starts, they say that I want to finish in 2 months, and then they after 2 months they can appear. Some takes more time. Maybe they are working professionals, because not all fingers are same. Different people are from different background. This is a global kind of qualification, so it is all. So that's why ACC gives a lot of flexibility. So passing marks are 50, right? So I tell you that when you book your paper, they tell you exam centers, they tell you the exact date. Maybe they can tell you, uh, uh, like in the month of February, there are 10, the 3 dates, maybe 5, 11, or 21. So you can choose. Some exam centers give you a choice. You can say, okay, I'll give on 10, 11 Feb. So then you can book your paper. So before your paper, like 1 hour before, You need to go there, reach there. This is called the reporting time. You need to show your identity card and then registration number. They will check your details on the screen, and then they can ask you to wait for a while or wait for 30 for 40 minutes. Then they will give you, after that, when you're going to start your paper, they will ask you to just sit, go in the computer lab. There would be a lot of PCs there. Then they would say the PC number 12, PC number 13, whatever is your PC number. Then they will tell you that like you can start your paper. You will go and sit there, and on your screen there would be some instructions for the exam. Then you invigilator, the examiner, can ask you to start your paper, right? So there would be other students as well, and you would be just doing your paper. There would be the question types would be multiple choice questions, computer like MCQs. This is a computer-based exam, multiple responses questions, and there may be like mostly the multiple choice ABCD options are there. So one of them is correct. Multiple responses, maybe ABCDEFG. For 6 to 7 options are there. You need to just select 2 or more. This is multiple responses, and then fill in the blanks. Each question would appear on the one, like single question would appear in the screen. Okay, so fill in the blanks would be their number entry. You can just enter the correct number when you are just after doing the calculation. Yes, more like most important, still students of mine will ask that, oh, that we are going to appear in the exam, so what would happen? So there would be a screen or Excel screen, how we are going to do the calculation. It's very simple. You are just going to appear in exam. So there would be only like here the questions, the options, and then you need to select, and here there would be a button next, then previous, next, and there would be an option for flag. Okay, uh, to next, then previous, and there would also be option for flag. When you flag, you can skip. If you the question is difficult, you can flag. So all 50 questions, when you're done with, you can, there would be an option to see the flag paper, flag questions or all questions. So all questions would appear on your screen like this: 1, 2, 3, like that. And okay, so you can just select any of, maybe if question number 15 you flag, you can just click, and then quickly you can jump over the question number 15. It will give you a lot of flexibility. The screen is quite user friendly. So like that. So number entry would be there. Scenario based MTQs questions would also be tested, right? So like in FA1, MA1, FA2, MA2, the foundation papers, this scenario based questions are not only these three were there, but here in the BTM and FA exam, you will see the MTQs, scenario based questions, and there would be a question and associated with different options, and then you need to just choose or enter the right data there. Okay, so normally it is what you're supposed to, you need to click an option, you need to just do some calculation, and then enter the correct digit. Not like that lengthy theory you have to write. So, experts insights, I tell you, I think like in the mid of this webinar, I have already explained that what you are supposed to do: understand concepts, don't memorize. No cramming would work here. Okay, just like your local degree. You need to understand conceptually, because I have seen students who are just started, who start from chapter 1, and then after chapter 12 or 13 they say that I believe so that we have forgotten something in chapter 3 or 4. I can't, we can't express ourselves in chapter 3 some topics, or maybe we can't teach some other students. We say obviously there is a thing that some people have the techniques to how to teach and how to, like, if you are a student, if you are not able to teach someone, so it doesn't mean you don't know that particular topic. This is conceptual understanding is something that when you see the question, okay, because when I ask the question and then when they see the options, they will know, okay, we know that how to do it. I say obviously you are not. Sometimes it happens that you are not confident that how to explain, and as you go through all the syllabus, this is a kind of fear, or most of the students have that maybe we don't know anything, we don't we like maybe we can't pass the paper, but it doesn't happen because they are not memorizing the traditional methods, they are not applying, so they feel like maybe they are lacking some understanding, but it doesn't happen because when they see the question they know that what is the answer, how to do, approach that. So here actually the conceptual understanding is important, and practice questions regularly is really really important. If you are not, if you're watching, like if I talk about the online study, you're studying, or maybe the physical class you are studying and you are just taking the lectures and you are feeling confident, okay, we know that everything is, but what happens that you are not practicing questions, you are not practicing questions, that means that you are not uh, so like in exam you can go in a big trouble, like you are not practice, because practicing is really important in ACC exam. Those who like
Oh,
if you watch the video lectures, you watch the video lectures for 1 hour, so I say for 2 hours you should practice, spend more and more time in practicing questions. Okay, don't appear in exam if you have not practiced enough questions. Focus on exam techniques when you just study and you just take the live classes. So obviously your tutor will tell you that what are the exam techniques, how to approach a particular question. So exam techniques you need to like understand, learn, manage time effectively. You need to make a habit of study consistently on daily basis. You need to know that if you are just doing some questions, so particularly 2.4 minute is a standard time to attempt one question in exam. So you need to speed up when you're practicing your kit questions. You need to affect like you manage your time effectively. uh, this is the thing. Obviously when you are doing a theory question, it can in if you know the concept, maybe a question can be done in 10 seconds if you read and you say okay. So this is actually the average time which I'm saying, 2.4 minutes. So if you are starting your kit and it says 50 minutes you need to finish, so you should stick to it. 50 minutes or less than 50 minutes you need to complete your test. So man, you need to learn time management. Okay. Consistency is more important than long study hours. Exactly. Don't do like that, as we normally do in our when we are doing our local qualification. That we are not studying daily, only in weekends for 5 to 6, 7 hours. No, daily studying is required. If you want to pass your paper in first attempt, consistency will lead you. If you are an average student, you can beat a genius one who's not consistent. Okay, so please do this. So common mistakes I have just mentioned here, like sometimes what mistakes students do, that they make these mistakes. Okay, skipping basics and theory. Obviously, what you're supposed to do, you need to study conceptually, skipping basic and theory part, because I have seen in the like in my recent days, my students are saying when they are going up in knowledge level exam, they are saying that more and more theory was tested, like 60 to 70 paper was theoretical based. I told you that only BT is theory based paper, otherwise MA and FA there are many calculations you will see. You are going to learn the techniques of how to calculate certain costs and this and that. But obviously, when you are going to study, you know that calculations, there would be a theory behind it, then there would be a calculation. You learn both in management accounting and financial accounting paper, the theory, the concepts, and the calculation, how to apply that in a
yeah.
calculation in a certain situation. But if you are just ignoring the theory part, you are just cramming and learning the techniques of calculating, so you can just if your paper is because you know that random questions not would appear in your, like maybe for if, a student appears in exam, he said my paper was 80% calculation and 20% theory was tested. Maybe other student another day he said 70% theory and 30% calculation. So if you want to score well, you need to study like you need to understand concepts well. Ignoring practice questions, this is also a common mistake students make. So you need to practice daily. Don't do this. Instead, you need to practice daily. Don't ignore practice questions. And because this is a very vital role, if you're practicing, obviously, similar kind of questions would appear in exam. And there would be also, yeah, maybe some of you are thinking how we can get those practice questions. Obviously, kit would be there. From that kit, you can just practice. We would provide you a plenty of questions. We have the quizzes that we can provide. All right. So studying without a clear plan, obviously, if you do not have plan, so how can you study effectively? Make a study plan and stick to it. Not related to like if I'm just talking about the studying ACC paper or any kind of paper. Obviously, in any field, anything you want to just achieve your goal, you need to have a clear plan. You need to make a clear plan. Then you need to follow that and stick to it. Attempting exams without completing preparation without complete, if you have not like fully prepared, don't attempt please your paper. I have seen students, they are in a hustle, they, I don't know why they are in such a hurry. They just go and book their paper, and then before their preparation, before their paper 2 or 3 days, they say that we are not good at that topic. And because in Vertex I talk about students throughout the globe, like many people internationally, they are stuck with Vertex, they are studying. So some of them, they just try to pick their choose and pick their date, and they say that and they tell me uh, uh, that we are going to appear in certain day, and then still we are not good at variances or some other topics. So I say that please don't book your paper until you are fully prepared, right? So you need to, because your tutor will give you a green signal when you are attending the lab sessions, when you are just studying. So obviously the tutor knows students very well that what are the weak areas of the student. So don't book until you are fully prepared. Ignoring mock exam score, mock exam score should be above 70. Yeah, if your mock exam is because you know what happens, I have seen students, they are studying, and then they book their paper, and first they book their paper and then they are appearing in mock. I say that when you are prepared, you think that you are prepared, you have just completed your syllabus, you have done enough practice questions, now you need to attempt mock. If your mock says you are failing your mock, or maybe the 50% is in your 50s you are just getting, so you are not you should not book your paper, right? So it should be at least 70%, then you can book your paper. And it is a kind of gift for mock exams. They really give you a clear picture that what kind of score you are scoring in exam. At least 70, it means if you are getting hardly 60s, so you are at a safer side. Or maybe if it is 70, the higher chance that you are going to get 80% in exam or maybe above. So that's really important. So don't do these mistakes, avoid these and stick to this. So you are going to get good score. So if you are willing to register to ACC, this is their official website. You can contact Vortex Learning Solutions. We are going to show you our WhatsApp number and our site details, website details. This is actually the accglobal.com. You can get registered and you can contact us on WhatsApp. So we can also give you the details, and we can help you to get registered to Vertex, to ACC actually, and you can also get enrolled to our courses. And let me tell you, when you registered, the required documents, your copy of your national identity card is needed, or passport, either of them you can give, and then educational document, uh, like whatever is your educational documents, you can just submit to ACC website. Then you need to pay their initial registration, which is 89 pounds. In some countries, maybe there is a discount, and then annual subscription charges you need to pay. And ideally, that ACC can be done within 3 years. So annual subscription every year you need to pay. This is initial registration, but actually this amount is something that this is actually your investment in yourself, in your future. So you need to just do that. If you, for some people, maybe the fee, they can think that a fee is high. Actually, fee is not high, because the reward you are going to get after completing this qualification, you can earn so much more. Exam fee is approximately around 84 pounds to 98 pounds, because it varies in which region, which country do you belong. So when you register to ACCA, you can also check to ACCA website. We can also guide you when you contact on us on WhatsApp, that in your particular region, what is your exam fee. And then the tuition fee expense you need to bear depend on the tuition provider. So we can say the Vertex offers plenty of study material when you go and get registered. When you contact us and get registered on any of our courses, we will provide you a customized study plan. This we are the only one who are providing this customized automation study plan. Then because there are students around the globe contact us. Some of you are from like working background, the working professionals, some are the full-time students, so different requirement is needed. No? So you can just make a study plan that you can study more at the weekends and less on the weekdays or whatever. So we will help you to create your customized study plan. You can also create on your own. Video lectures are there, complete study, course coverage, assignments, tip practice sessions, the live, like you can just get a chance to come online, and we can just do practice questions. I can help you to just like in some such like some questions to practice. I can like the tutor come online. Tutors come online twice in a week. They tell you that how to do a particular question. You can ask in the live chat, or like just like that I'm talking right now. We also provide the recorded lectures, and then also the Zoom meeting sessions, the kid practice. We help our students to score well, to understand that particular, because maybe when you're watching the recording, there are some particular areas that you are facing difficulty. You can just also write them like on WhatsApp. You can ask questions. We can send you a voice note. We can send you typing a message. We'll guide you like throughout your ACC journey. We give the WhatsApp support. We also give the online sessions twice in a week. You can come online. You can just talk to your tutor, and if you any particular area you are facing difficulty, the teacher will again explain that topic, and then they can also tell you that these are the practice questions and this is how this particular questions you should approach. And then complete study notes, VLS study notes. When you study when you do so, VLS study notes you read. You don't need other publishers like BBB Kaplan are not needed, only VLS book we are providing the VLS study notes here written. Otherwise, VLS book we are providing that you can study. Quizzes very important. Like it say that 17 chapters are there. You start with chapter one. You watch the video lessons. You watch the practice questions, that how to approach this question, and then you will also see the quizzes after every chapter. At the end of the chapter, you will find a quiz. You can attempt that quiz. You can see your score. If you are scoring well, you can move forward to the next chapter. Otherwise, if you are not scoring well, you can revise, because this is the flexibility of online, that you can study on your pace. You can watch the video recording as much as you can, as like there is no restriction. Then the two final mocks would be given to you. So when you do and complete the complete syllabus with Vertex, and eventually you attempt the final mocks, so obviously you are going to get the good score. And we just wish all our students to pass with flying colors, and most of the students pass their papers with flying colors. And this is the thing. And I can also tell one thing, that yeah, online studying I was just talking about. If you compare physical classes with the online, obviously online have more benefits, not just because I'm providing the online classes, the Vertex is providing the online classes, that's why I'm saying so. Obviously you need to realize that it saves your cost. If you want to just reach towards your online your physical institute, there would be a lot of traffic. You need to face that. You need to spend some time to reach there, and obviously there would be a cost. the transportation cost. Here, if you are studying on your own piece, that like at your home, you can just need to come online. You need to bear only the internet expense. Otherwise, it's very easy to study. And obviously, when you are going to take physical classes, that if you can miss class, so the tutors will not provide you the recordings. And if you are just talking to them on WhatsApp, if you have the tutor's number, you are asking questions, so they can ask you the please just respect your privacy. Don't send her messages on WhatsApp. Don't ask me. Whenever you have any query, you need to reach towards the center, and then an institute you need to ask. But we provide the online, so obviously anytime we get the 24 hours WhatsApp support. Whenever the tutor is available, if you write, sometimes we respond instantly, sometimes we take time, but within a few hours, your query is responded by us. So obviously, we provide the online support, we provide the WhatsApp support, so it's very flexible, and more and more people are coming to online study. And here there's a benefit of quizzes, automations, because when you are studying physically, if there is they also provide the quizzes. You are just reaching to that institute, and maybe there is a place of 20 students or 40 students to sit in a computer lab and then just do the quizzes. But here provide the quizzes, so like thousands of the students who are just studying with Vertex, they can just use the quizzes system at their own pace. You should have a laptop when you're studying online, or if you do not have, still the mobile or tablet also work. You can just watch the video lectures, and using your phone also you can just attempt quizzes, right? So there are a lot of benefits, and if you compare the fee, the physical classes also uh, demand higher fee, because they give you a building, they give you a place. There is a lot of cost, the electricity cost, the air conditioning cost, the furniture cost. A lot of things are involved in the cost is attached. The overheads are associated with the physical institute, but actually these overhead costs we do not include in our online fee. So if you think about it is also the budget friendly. So this is it for today. Thank you for joining us. And you can see on a screen, this is our phone number. You can take a screenshot or write, and you can contact us on WhatsApp. This is VLS's official WhatsApp number, and this is the VLS website, Vertex Learning Solutions, vls-online.com, and this is our official email address. If you have any query related to any course, you can just send us email. And I tell you one thing, that when you just check our website, you can also get the demo lectures, and you can just watch the demo lectures. And then if you decide to enroll to Vertex Learning Solutions in any of applied knowledge or any other course, you can please contact, and I would love to give you another class, and I would love to see students coming to my next Zoom meeting. And then whatever the syllabus I discussed, uh, I'm going to discuss in quite detail. Thank you so very much for joining us today. Thanks.